Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Megaman X2. In the last part we beat all 3 X-Hunters and now it's time for us to fight the final 2 Mavericks. First off here with Crystal Snail. Yeah! Snail. Anyway, Crystal Snail stage is actually one of the weirder ones in my opinion. Has a pretty cool track though. Also, I was wrong earlier in Wheelgator stage. We see the right armor one other time in the game, so, yeah. You're gonna need to use this right armor to dash, jump, and float over here, jump out, and use the strike chain in order to get the heart tank. And just ride it back. Also, I've never tested if you can actually get crushed by this thing. I wonder if you actually can, because I nearly do there. I wonder. Well, I guess that'll warrant testing later on in my life, when I'm really bored. Anyway, the right armor can actually break the green crystals, but it can't break the purple ones. So what breaks the purple ones? Green crystals. Just get into a certain activation area, and they will automatically trigger and try to kill you. Now, I know for a fact I think you have to use this ride armor in order to get to the Maverick X-Hunter route, but I'm not sure otherwise. And I believe there is a way you can take it up here, but I don't know how to do it. There more than likely is. I mean, Capcom had to have put this many crystals here on purpose for that alone. Maybe the original plan was that you had to destroy each of these little blocks as their own entity, but they have to be paired up in 2 for some programming reason. Also, go away, you little crystal thing. Because you can nearly make any jump in this, but it's only nearly. You cannot actually make them, so I wonder if that's an incomplete idea on their part. So I just decided to ditch the damn thing. And here we have this mini-boss. For some reason I decided to silk shot it. I think that was actually an accident. This thing is extremely weak against the spike wheel. Which, mind you, makes sense considering the fact it stays still on it and will constantly damage it. And the fact that it's cracking the crystal it's in makes sense. This is not a hard mini-boss at all, actually. In fact, I don't think I've ever died to it. And this section might look daunting, but the only real problem is if you accidentally stay there for too long. Anyway, hug this wall right here for a Dr. Light capsule. Megaman. Enter the capsule. This enhancement will modify your radar opticals. It uses some energy, but with it, you'll be able to see objects that you could not see before. Good luck, Megaman X. And this little head part here is actually what would have allowed you to see the heart tank in Wire Sponge's stage, and the area where you can actually use the spike wheel to find the chest armor in Morph Moth stage. Anyway, yeah, pretty much it has its own little ammo count. You use it, you can see where the little hidden passageways like that are. I'll never be using it again. Pretty much the only reason I actually go for the heads part is because, well, it's kind of necessary to get a certain special thing later on. Also, it comes to this little alcove up here. It's not really much of an alcove, it's more of a small room, isn't it? And if you charge up Silk Shot, something curious will happen. And 9 weapon energies will be brought to you. Mind you, this is actually rather useless because weapon energy gets refilled whenever you enter a new stage. So, yeah, it's kinda useless there, Capcom. And that's not the only area that acts like that either. I'll be showing one off later on in this part. This is really the only green crystal that has a good chance of killing you. If you're not fast enough on the uptake, you more than likely will die. Anyway, we're at Crystal Snail now. He's weak to the magnet mine. Crystal Snail, his shell does in fact block damage, and it uses some weird sprite rotation mode 7 stuff for some reason. He likes to throw some projectiles around, but the big thing about him is that he can slow down time. Upon hitting him with the magnet mine, though, he will fly out of his shell, allowing for more shots at the weakness. What he's trying to do right now, actually, with him being up there, is him trying to slow down time. And I can actually hear some of the Boomer Kawanger sound effects for some reason right now. Little sound effects he makes when he teleports back in X1. In fact, technically speaking, the Magnet Mine on its own actually doesn't do that much damage to Crystal Snail. It's actually because it hits him twice that the Magnet Mine's really his weakness, because when he hits the wall after flying out, he does a lot more damage. Or gets hit for more damage, more accurately. Anyway, as you'll see here for a brief second, he does slow down time. And it's not that effective. Although it would be funny as hell, actually, if you killed him when it was in slow motion, everything, his death was in slow motion. That'd actually be kind of funny. But with that, Crystal Snail is done. One Maverick left to go, and it's the stage we've been to, like, what, 5 times? And we get Crystal Hunter. This is a very curious weapon, because it actually freezes enemies. As I'm going to show off to get the only collectible we've missed at this point, the Heart Tank in Morph Moth stage. And this is actually a Heart Tank that's really early in the level, too. I tried to show it off on that guy, but it just outright denied me. But, as I show here, hitting an enemy with it turns them into a crystal that you can stand on. Dash off that guy, I'll find a life, and the Heart Tank. So let's exit out of there. And a fun little trick you can actually use with that is, if you actually freeze the enemy, pause the game, and go to a different weapon, the enemy will phase out of existence. And this is me just making sure, going through my memory, making sure I got everything. And now it's time for us to take onto the stage, the Maverick that we've been to the stage the most, but we still haven't fought yet. Overdrive Ostrich, who, if I recall correctly, wasn't Mega Man Extreme 2. In fact, Extreme 2 just uses a lot of X2 and 3 in Mavericks. And a couple X1, if I recall correctly. Now, you've already seen the beginning of the stage 3 times, so I hope there's no explanations needed in this little section. And also, I think Overdrive Ostrich actually has the earliest checkpoint in the entire game. Oh, you little... Because the first checkpoint in this level is right here. And we got the Wave Bike, which is really pushed in the advertisement for this game, because the postcard that we have of it on it, and the cover art of the game has this thing on it. You can shoot with the action button, and you can actually dash with it, which is necessary to get over some jumps. You can actually hit that little sand machine there, and it will, in fact, what's it called? Get destroyed. Now, I lost the bike there, but you can go back to around that point and actually get a new one. Which is necessary because to get a certain collectible in this stage, we need this thing. And it's the Heart Tank. You can actually very carefully time turning around to collect this and still have the bike, but I just miss and explode into a million pieces. And I almost died again because I thought that was the pit to the next part of the level for some reason. Now there's one last collectible again in the stage. It's actually the last collectible in the game. Use the spike wheel here, and we find the final Dr. Light capsule. Megaman, enter the capsule. This enhancement will modify your main drive unit. With it, you'll be able to dash while in midair. Use it wisely, Megaman X. And with this feats part, we get the air dash, which is deceptively useful. In Mega Man X3 and 4, they'd actually go upon and improve this thing a little bit. In X3, you get a vertical air dash, because in this it's only horizontal. And in X4, you'd get an air dash, along with being able just to hover in midair for a few moments. X5 would carry that on. And with that, certain secret aside, we've actually 100%ed the main game. So let's go and fight Overdrive Ostrich. He is weak against the Crystal Hunter, I believe it's called. And we get probably the most unique intro to a boss ever. We get on a missile and X shoots the shit out of it, and it explodes. There's Overdrive there in the background. Overdrive Ostrich here, obviously weak to the Crystal Hunter, that's why I'm going in this order, likes to run around the stages towards you and shoot his sonic slicers up into the air. Using the Crystal Hunter against him freezes him. Fun little fact, actually, first off, he also has an attack that if you go off screen, he will in fact run to the background and try to jump on you. Fun little fact, if you actually kill Wire Sponge with the sonic slicers there, which is Wire Sponge's weakness, he actually gets split in half, a unique death animation only he can get. Not many Mega Man games have that, obviously. But in this fight, as long as you have the high ground, you're pretty much good. It's kind of like Star Wars Episode 3 in that regard. After all, we have the high ground. You underestimate my power. Oh, shit. That was probably a terrible Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen impression. Then again, I haven't seen Star Wars Episode 3 since 2006, so yeah. Let that be a testament to how kind of meh Episode 3 is. Better than Episode 2, and I've probably just sparked a huge comment war. Sorry, people. But for beating Overdrive Ostrich, we get his sonic slicers. Doing this, this weapon likes to hit walls and then jump all around the room doing so. Not that useful aside from the bosses that are weak against it, like Surges. Megaman X! I've located the X-Hunter's base! Oh! That grid location, 00! That's right, at the North Pole! Okay, there should be a comma there, game. I think, I'm not sure. Roger, Dr. Kane. I'm on my way. It'll take some more time to reactivate 0. Slow them down, Mega Man X. And also, fun fact, X2 and 3 are the only appearances of Dr. Kane in the series until the PSP remake of X1. Which is weird too, because he's the one who actually found X. But with that, we have access to the final stages, but I'm going to go back to Bubble Crab stage to show something off really quick, along with absolutely murder this fish for everything that he's done to me. That's satisfying. But in this section of the level, right past this little door, you might have seen that little black room there. You can jump through this wall and charge up the silk shots, similarly to the weapon energy thing I showed you earlier. Except this time you get 9 big energies, which is extremely useful for filling up your sub-tanks. So, do this if you need to. I'm going to, just because I didn't get that many energies from enemies this run, which is kind of weird. And also, one little nice thing to pay attention to, if you use the speed burner underwater, it does just become 2 little things of steam. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And next time on Let's Play Mega Man X2, we'll be starting off the final stages of the game. See you guys then.